Welcome back. Are you kneeling comfortably? Tonight I have in studio a candidate with a long history in this county. Joy Monjure has started the Food and Farm Finder. Yes, Food and Farm Finder, served on the Everson Chamber of Commerce and City Council, hosted Waterwise Radio, and earned the Resources Environmental Hero Award. She runs the Field of Greens farm stand in Everson and is awesome. As you can probably tell, this is hardly an impartial interview. I'm a campaign supporter and an enthusiastic fan. Without further ado, let's welcome Joy Monjure. Joy, you've done a lot of things here in this county. What made you want to run for state representative?
Well, it was the last thing on my mind last spring, and I was honored to be asked by the former mayor of Bellingham, Tim Douglas. And it was a hard decision. I've got 3 amazing grandchildren that I was spending tons of time with. They're all young, very young. And I knew it was going to be a sacrifice to the time that I had with them, and that was hard, really hard. But as I thought about it more, I thought, this is my chance to improve their lives, and I couldn't turn it down. I just said, when I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to look back and say, gosh, I wish I would have tried that. So,
Thank you. You've been involved with a lot of children's programs and education in the community. One of the things you've worked very hard on is the Farm to Schools program. What is it, and why is it so important?
Farm to Schools is a program of the Whatcom Community Foundation, and what they do is, one of the issues around getting local food into cafeterias in our schools and our senior centers is the processing part of that. The school cafeteria staff just doesn't have the time to do the processing. So now we have Cloud Mountain Farm, who has opened a new processing facility, and we are doing the processing. So we're cutting the broccoli flowerets into little tiny broccoli flowerets, and so that the cafeteria staff doesn't have to do that. We're getting our own local food in the schools, which means that our children are getting far better nutrition than they have been in the past.
Fantastic.
It's a great program.
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, education funding is a huge issue for state legislators. Do you have some ideas about how we can help improve education in Washington State?
Improve education or fund education?
Both.
Okay. Well, I think we can find efficiencies in education. One of the things that is really dragging down our schools is the multitude of standardized testing that has to happen. Teachers have to spend way too much of their time preparing for and testing students. And what's happening, which is I think the saddest part, is they're losing their joy for teaching. Their creativity is just being squelched, and the reason that they went into teaching was because their love of children, and it's taking all of that away. So not only is it costing us money, because all those tests cost a lot of money, but it's also making it so that people aren't going to want to be teachers, and that I think is one of the saddest things. It is difficult. I can't even imagine being in a classroom with 25 or 30 children every day. I mean, my 3 grandchildren, by the end of the day, I'm exhausted. And a teacher has to be in that class up and trying to teach those kids, 30 kids, 25 kids at a time. And it's a challenge. And the children that come to school often are living in poverty and bringing that stress with them, and they take extra attention, and there's only one teacher. So it's there's a lot of big problems. How we're going to fund that? I think corporate loopholes. We need to look at over 600 loopholes, subsidies and loopholes on the books. See where there are those that are not doing what they were intended to do, and stop that and get that money back. I think that will help. And again, standardized testing, reducing the amount of testing would be another place.
Excellent. The 42nd district is rather unusual, and it's got a lot of diverse populations, from Linden all the way down to North Bellingham. How do you feel you'll best be able to represent the diverse populations of the 42nd?
My whole life in Whatcom County has been working with diverse populations. I bring people together around problem solving, and in my opinion, in order to do good decision making, you have to have all the perspectives. So I'm going to be reaching out to those diverse populations and finding out what their needs are and how their needs can be met in any legislation that I'm involved with. And I'm hoping that there's a lot of that. And I'm looking forward to, there's only 3 months out of the year that you're in Olympia. The rest of the time you get to be out in the community, learning about your community, learning about the people. It's very exciting. It's been the best part of this whole campaign, is meeting the people. We have an amazing group of Democrats in this community, and it has been a huge pleasure for me to meet all these people, and I feel very supported.
Excellent. Both sides are campaigning hard on job growth in this county, and recently your opponent announced that he may close his business because he has to hire union employees. What's your jobs plan for Whatcom County?
Well, one of the things that has happened as a result of this campaigning is my realization of how important our unions are. My husband can speak for this. I have not been a union supporter in the past. I've been a member of the union, but I always had this thing that, you know, we really don't need unions. Well, I really believe that our unions are going to be what cures our income inequality in this country. And I think they're taking a bigger role, and I'm excited about that. And I am union all the way now. I've changed my tune. What was the rest of that question?
That was the question. You nailed it.
No, there was another part of it.
What was your jobs plan for Whatcom County?
Well, as a former City of Bellingham Public Works employee for 23 years, I have become painfully aware of our infrastructure needs. And I think that we can be creating a lot of really good family wage jobs in this community if we fix our infrastructure. That means our roads, our bridges, our water systems, our wastewater systems. All those things are in the ground, have been there forever, and we need to start taking care of them. And that means jobs. And so that's my intent, is to pass a transportation package, get those jobs here so that we can put our people to work and get our infrastructure fixed.
Excellent. If somebody wants to get involved in your campaign, what's the best way for them to do that?
Go to votejoymonjure.com. They can volunteer, they can donate. We are the get money out of campaign. We have the least money of everyone. And I'm proud of it. I think it's great. I don't think you need a lot of money to win. I'm qualified for the job. I've come to realize that I'm very qualified for the job, and I am going to make this community proud and get things done for our community. Yeah.
You've got a lot of fans in the audience.
I can tell.
Thank you so much for coming. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you, Riley. It's been fun.
Joy Monjure, everybody.